me, not really.
And I'm rolling.
Already?
Yeah.
God damn it, Tom.
You guys, how was Rhode Island Comic Con convention? Not Comic Cons, because that'd be different.
So, welcome to the Comics Brew and Chew podcast, where today we are now on our third and final recording for the day. Ooh, sorry. So yeah, we are enjoying both Rhodes Mary's Baby Scary Good Pumpkin Ale, and I am currently sipping on a Heineken because I developed a taste for him over the summer. I've had one sip, and apparently I am already wasted.
This is a little. I gotta say, Rhodes Mary's Baby is a little too much like an IPA for me.
I liked it.
I don't like IPAs too much.
I actually drank most of it, so I mean...
So we got Tim Tams, we got candy.
Lots of Halloween candy.
And we got Halloween candy. Everything. We got everything. Like, we're good. We're set for a while. We're not planning Thanksgiving in this podcast. But,
That was last podcast, if you guys joined us.
30 minutes ago.
God damn it, Tom.
About.
But, so yeah, go check out that other video that Tom posted at some point along the way, because I have no control over when this happens.
Yeah.
I just talk a lot. So, yeah. So this past weekend, as of recording.
The first weekend in November.
That's an amazing time to work at a grocery store. Yeah, so Tom, Amanda, and I happened to go to Rhode Island Comic Con, the local comic book convention held here in our home state, in the state capital. This year, I feel like they didn't fuck it up as much as they fucked it up in previous years.
I mean, I never went before this year, but after all the horror stories I've heard, it seems really smooth.
Well, here's the thing. It's because nobody was there.
Yep.
Like, if you look at the guest list...
I'm sorry, I got to see Lance Henriksen from Aliens, which really excited me.
Who?
Exactly.
Bishop from Aliens.
Oh. Okay.
Last year's guest list was so much better than
But
this
didn't
year's.
half of last year's canceled?
Yes.
Yes, but Sebastian Stan was there,
Oh,
so...
and- but you know-
excuse me. Finn Jones was there. You could have seen the immortal Iron Fist, the living weapon of Kunlun.
Defender of Kunlun.
Defender of Kunlun.
Also known
You
as
should have seen
Loris
his line.
Tyrell.
There was nobody in it.
Yeah, I'm just... Who else was there that I was like, huh?
Zach Levi was there.
Hayden...
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, he was there.
Huge line.
See,
Tom Felton was there.
Tom Felton.
Michael
he
Rooker was
he was
there.
dressed like it was the 90s.
Yes.
I was like, what are you doing,
I
buddy?
have friends who ran into him on the sidewalk of the convention center, like the back sidewalk, and he was just playing his guitar.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool experience.
I mean, I've had experiences where I've run into the celebrities out, like...
Who'd you let into the building?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say one time you were like sitting in like
Oh,
a side passage
so-
reading and someone tried to get in, you let them in?
I didn't let them in. It was the first convention I went to.
Look, it wasn't Danny Glover, was it?
It was Danny Glover.
Oh my god, I love Danny Glover.
Why did I think it wasn't him?
So, it was the first year I went, which might have been like the second, because the state hasn't had a Comic-Con that long.
Did you tell me you were too old for this shit? That's
No.
what I would have done. I would open the door and be like, too old for this shit, right? And then he
No.
would have knocked me out.
No, apparently
Are you Donald Glover's dad?
I honestly didn't know. So, real short story is in Amazing Spider-Man 2, my friend's like, oh, he's got a picture of Donald Glover on his wall. And in my head, I
You
thought
thought Danny Glover?
Like, why does he have a picture of Danny Glover on his wall? And then I later found out Danny Glover and Donald Glover were not actually related in any way, shape, or form.
So, my first convention I went to, I think it was, because our state hasn't had a Comic-Con for that long. Holy shit, those were cursed. I went, I'm sitting outside the convention hall, because, like, this was back before it was as expansive as it is now. Because we went this year. It was in the convention center, it was in the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and it was in the Omni Hotel.
Dunkin' Donuts Center. Goddamn Rhode Island. Why?
That's the most Rhode Island thing I've ever said outside of, like, the only thing they serve there is coffee milk. But, so it was only in the convention center. That's the only place you could, like, you still went in through the Dunkin' Donuts side, but you immediately had to go over the walkway
To the convention. Yeah.
to the convention center. And everything was in there, including all the panels. It's not the way it was now. You know how we have to walk down the end by the food court and go in? It used to be you went in on the left as soon as you walked in, and all the guests were at the end by the food court.
Huh.
So I was down outside of the doors, and they had, like, actual chairs and benches out for people to sit on. And I was chilling there reading some comics I picked up, and Danny Glover's trying to get back into the convention hall to get back to where he's signing. And he's like, he can't get in because the doors are locked. Like, they need to open the door from the other side. So he was knocking and waiting, but he's hiding in one of those alcoves. And this is back before, like, every door was open. So he's just sitting there hiding, and he's, like, trying to hide from everybody, noticing who he is. I looked up, and he looked at me, and I was just like, hey, I went back to reading. I was like, I know who you are. I just don't care. Like, he wasn't that, like, close enough to me to, like, actually hold a conversation. But like he still looked up, like made eye contact, and just looked at me for a second. I was like, "What's up?" And
You
just,
didn't let him back in?
no, they let him back in.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing I had to do with.
I thought you let him back in.
No, it was he's waiting for people from the convention to let him back in, like the actual staff.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, this is like my 6th or 7th year going to Comic Con in Rhode Island.
I want to go, but it's
My
just
second
really inconvenient,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
timing-wise.
I think you missed your chance now because other people from the store want to go.
Yeah.
But
Oh, well.
I think based off your work ethic, you can probably get those days off instead.
Probably not.
Just take them off now. They
Oh,
already
yeah, I'll
announced
put in
them.
for it now.
Oh,
yeah,
as soon
that's
as the con ends now, they announce when the next one's going to be.
true. I'll have to do that then.
It's what, like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November, I think.
Yeah.
Last year was nicer because it was like a little closer to like Thanksgiving, so it wasn't like, hey, I need the 1st of the month off. It was, hey, I need like the 12th off.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just so disappointed in the guests this year.
I got to see Lance Henriksen, so I'm happy.
See, I like it when the guests are shittier because I don't go to meet the famous
Yeah.
people. I go
You
to
go for the comics.
I go for the comics.
And the cons.
Yeah. Which is just the prices people mark up on certain items.
That's all I cared about this year. I'm still regretting
So,
last year, but you know.
What did people buy from Comic Con this year? I bought all of one comic. I bought a volume of Mike Mignola's BPRD, which I have not read yet because
You
I
don't
haven't
read
caught up
comics?
in BPRD yet. But
Did you know?
I didn't go, so I didn't buy anything.
what did you get, Amanda?
I grabbed Scarlet, the volume of Scarlet.
The Bendis comic.
Yes. And my charm bracelet, which is Winter Soldier. Although, I have the stupid charm on there that says B. Barnes rather than J. Barnes.
You
which
could
is-
probably carve a J into that fairly easily.
Well, if anybody else wants to do it, please be my guest.
And Fred,
I'm
what
gonna
did you
put
buy?
I bought 4 dozen single issue
Holy
comics
shit.
about
We found
about
when I met up with Fred, we found a stand with a bunch
Yeah.
of back issues, and he found a Thor tab and basically bought every comic in
Yeah.
that Thor tab.
it was buy 10 get 5 free. The guy gave me 6 for free because he didn't count my stack the right way, and I spent $10 for.
They were the nicest people last year.
Were they?
Yeah.
I didn't talk to them this year. I usually end up talking to the guys from the Comic Doctor.
Hmm.
This
Where's
year,
the comic doctor? That sounds
In
familiar.
Oaklawn.
Okay.
but they usually have a stand on the Ring of the Dunk, and last year they had like a really good sale on comics. It was like 25 cents an issue on Sunday. But this year they didn't have anything. They had all like the True Believer issues, and they had all the old DC issues from the past events in the last few years. They didn't have like back issues like they've had. Last year it was like fill a long box, which is 150 comics for $100.
Mhm.
Wow.
Something like that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking myself over the fact that one of the stands had issue 1 of Jessica Jones. Just not signed like mine is. For $50.
Oof.
And I didn't grab it.
Yeah, like I got just like Thor stuff pretty much.
So besides comics, what else did they sell? Since I've never been, I'll ask questions from an outside perspective.
Prints. Lots of prints.
You can get a lot of artwork.
Um,
You can meet artists from actual comics or like just local artists selling stuff.
A lot of local artists had some cool
Yeah.
things.
I know Fred got me a print of a Gundam from local artist or semi-local artist.
No clue, because they don't really divide them up by like local artists or famous people. Famous people just usually have like the better booths. Like usually Neil Adams is there. I ran into him in the bathroom one year,
That's pretty cool.
but like he was walking
Did you
out.
cross the streams?
He was walking out. I was going in to take a piss, and he walks out, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're Neil Adams!" But I didn't say it out loud because I really had to pee.
You should have done it. Like, how many people, honestly, how many of those like artists do you think really get acknowledged, recognized?
Outside of their booth.
Yeah, because like everyone who
Oh,
goes
no.
to Comic Con is like the person who's like, I'm gonna go to meet the side character from some TV show I watched 10 years ago. Like, oh my god, I met Tara Strong, or.
Yeah.
Fred, I feel like Fred actually goes because he's like, holy shit, look at all these books I'm buying.
Yeah.
No, that's why I go.
Yeah.
See, that's why people that we
Fred
know.
goes for the comic, not for the cons.
People that we know think I hate comic book conventions because they got too popular.
Yeah.
It turns out that is true. I hate comic book conventions because like people go to see like that one lady that was on I Dream of Jeannie and like they want to go get a picture with her, or like Elvira was here this year.
Wasn't Machete?
Yeah, I saw him actually.
Yeah, but Danny Trejo's a badass and like
Is he? Is he really? Or is he just playing
Tortuga.
badass?
I mean, Does it really matter at some points? Like
I would have had him sign everything as Uncle Machete.
Oh, from
Spy
Spy Kids.
Nah, he's got to sign his Tortuga from Breaking Bad.
No, Uncle Machete. Tom Ear Scrub. But, like, the first year I went, I met Jason David Frank.
That's pretty cool. I know our friend Billy would have liked to have met him.
Mainly because I wanted something signed from him. Like, that was the only, like, celebrity I ever, like, went to, like, specifically meet. Because my cousin gave me a White Tiger Zord when I was a kid. And I used to play with that all the time, and I still have it. So, I went to get that signed, and I still have it in my room signed. And, like, I know people that would buy it up for me.
Mm.
And there's always, like, this big Pop Funko craze, because, like...
Ugh. The only unfortunate thing is like, usually Funko gets the licenses to do Pops.
Yep.
And then they get licenses to do other things. Like, one thing that I really hate is Funko has the license to Bethesda Game Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So they put out Fallout Pops. And at the time, like, there was no other Fallout, like, figures.
Yeah.
And I was like, alright, I'll get, like, a Deathclaw and, like, a Brotherhood of Steel guy. And then Funko was like, we're going to put out action figures. There are action figures.
Those reaction, like the ones that look like the Kenner Star Wars toys?
No,
like,
no,
with
no.
the
They have an
nipple?
actual figures
Oh,
line.
do they? Like,
Yeah.
with actual points of articulation?
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah.
Wow, okay.
And, they're not very good quality. They look
Wow,
like
what a
crappy.
shock. It's Funko.
Yeah. Like,
I have a shelf full of Funkos. I might have bought 2 or 3 Pops in my life, and I probably have like 25
And then they
of them
get
because they're
gifted to
just
you.
the easiest, like,
they
birthday
really
gifts
are.
and stuff.
I kind of do, like, I feel like...
They're cool. Like, they're cool
characters in
merchandise.
helmets end up looking better than characters, like, with bare faces.
I almost
Yeah.
bought my boy over the weekend. Speaking of characters and
Reinhardt?
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, people in, like, helmets or armor look good, but then, like, if it's just their bare face, it's like they have big black eyes, no
Yeah.
mouth, and a tiny nose, and that is every Funko Pop.
Being someone who doesn't have a whole lot of space, I have my favorite Marvel characters right in
I have
front
a
of all
couple.
my comics.
Yeah, I have a couple Marvel characters. I have Giant Man because I really like Ant-Man.
I have one of Guillermo del Toro, which is pretty cool. So I just have that and a Hellboy sitting next to each other. I want to get a few of the Pops from his other films and put them there.
I have a ton of Star Wars.
I have a Stan Lee.
For Star Wars, I have Phasma that I grabbed in the hype to Episode 7 when
Yeah.
I thought Phasma
We
looked
went.
like the coolest thing
I don't know.
ever.
Did you go with us Force
No,
Friday?
you
in
guys
20
grabbed it for me
Yeah,
for Force
yeah.
Friday. I
Force-
wanted a Phasma action figure, but you guys couldn't find an action figure, so you grabbed me a
Because
Pop.
before Episode 7, Captain Phasma was the coolest
Yeah.
thing on
Yeah.
the face of the earth, and then surprise, she
So-
wasn't. But
I have 2 Colossus figures. One's regular Colossus, and one's the metal die-cast Colossus that they did.
the only reason I'd want to go to con is at one point Fred texted me, and he's like, "I found the Gundam models," and that's the only reason I'd want to go.
There's a whole shit ton of tables that sell them. Like, they don't
Yeah.
have, like, a wide variety of kits.
But they have stuff that because right now I'm looking for like modern, like recent stuff, and I'd probably go for like the Godzilla
Someone had
stuff.
it to Aaron.
I found bootleg versions of the Godzilla anime, and
What? Who's bootlegging that? It's on Netflix.
there's so many bootleg
There's like 4
movie stands,
yeah, there's like
and
4
it's
of them.
they're all hilarious.
I'm
I
honestly
found
shocked
someone
that they don't get shot
bootlegging
down.
the Star Wars Ewok films,
Dude, I bought all of Zoid's bootleg.
which I
last
have
year.
an official release of.
I'm really surprised that people like can sell bootlegs. There.
Yeah, you'd think like
It's not a gas station.
yeah.
I still remember the night
No,
we saw
the food's cheaper at a gas
the
station.
night we saw Civil War. I stopped at the Valero gas station on the corner of 2 major streets in our area,
Yeah.
and right there on the counter was a copy of Captain America: Civil War bootlegged. And I was looking at it, and the guy's like, "Came out tonight. You can save some money." I was like, "I just saw it. I'm coming back from seeing it." And he's like, $15. I was like, "That's more expensive than the ticket."
I remember as a kid going to a flea market in Raynham in 2005, and they had Star Wars Episode 3, and I was a little too young to, like, completely process being
Bootleg,
bootleg,
yeah.
so I was, like, super excited about, like, oh, I just saw this, like, 2 weeks ago, and now I can own it, and then I, like, opened it up, and I'm like, this looks like a DVD-ROM, what's going on here?
I have a lot of bootlegs because there was a point where my aunt would just leave them at our house. Like I have Garfield 2 somewhere, the hit movie Garfield 2. I have both Fantastic Fours somewhere, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Tell your aunt to get better taste in bootlegging.
All
Well, I
six-
like the Spider-Man trilogy.
All 6 Star Wars original films, which is the only way I had them for a while. And then, what was the other one? The Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars cartoon. I have on bootlegs. So
I have
actually
the
still have
official
them.
release on those.
They're on YouTube, so I don't need an
So,
official release.
Here's the thing: the bootleg game stepped up this year because it wasn't bootleg DVDs; it was bootleg Blu-rays.
I doubt those were Blu-rays in those cases.
It looked. It was funny that they had Blu-ray cases.
Yeah, but they were all in Blu-ray cases, but I doubt those were
there's-
Blu-rays in there.
The only guy I actually talked to and looked through his stuff,
As far as movies go, you mean?
Yeah, had it was actually the guy that was right across from us when we stood there talking for a half hour.
Yep.
He had it was all DVD cases because I was trying to see if he had Ultimate Muscle and he didn't.
Fred and his anime.
Dude, it was fantastic. It is like the worst parody of WWE ever, and it's amazing.
No, the worst parody of WWE ever is Japanese pro wrestling.
That's what this is.
No, this is like live action. I remember one time I watched a whole arc where this big fat guy like impregnated a girl on stage. Not real, but like impregnated her, and then a giant egg appeared on stage. It was her egg, and then a little tiny blue midget came out of the egg and wrestled the dad and killed him.
Remember we just had that random like
That
2
night we
weeks
watched
where we
it?
watched
Yeah.
so much of this.
Oh my god, it's wild, dude. One of the fighters is a blow-up doll. He wins.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And the blow-up doll like comes down off the ladder.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love Japanese pro wrestling. I just wish I understood it.
It's better that you don't.
That's true. But yeah, definitely if you ever want to check that out. But let's see. So Con has people, comics, merchandise,
Art.
yeah.
Yep.
I still want it. I'll go one of these years. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll get like a 1-day pass.
That's what I did. I paid $50 for 1 day, and
I'll meet Fred up or something.
Yeah. I got the 3-day only because I went 2 days, and
It was cheaper to buy the 3
It was
days.
a little cheaper to buy the 3-day.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone the 3rd day.
how
when I
much
got
did
it
you
to
pay
work.
for the 3-day?
It's like 80.
Okay.
Or you could get the VIP pass, which is like close to 200 this year for no real reason.
Yeah, I heard
90.
people talking about how bad that was. this
I
year
mean,
around.
you got a Pennywise exclusive
Wow.
Rhode Island Comic Con.
Or you pay like $10 for it on top of the $80 you spent.
16.
How exclusive is it though? Because I bet you
It's
could.
not.
Because how Funko works is they just made that pop and they distribute it to cons and like, all right, this is they put a sticker on it.
Yep.
See, that's the thing is like Funko Pops sell for so goddamn much because it's exclusive, and it costs the company nothing to make those.
Yeah, it's like
They're just like
hollow vinyl.
They're like, all right, we'll paint this one gold instead, and we'll sell it for $300. Oh my god, I feel like Funko Pops are almost an epidemic, just taking over any kind of store.
If you've been in, like, I hate walking into FYE now.
Yeah, they have
Because
GameStop
the
too.
movies,
When's the last time we went to a
yeah,
GameStop?
like movies there's like 2 rows of movies now, a row of music, and then half a store full of Funko Pops.
It's like, I mean, like GameStop too, and then like you get those stores like we're going out of business and we can't figure out why, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, maybe you should like instead of selling Funko Pops, maybe you should sell something else. Like
movies or games
GameStop should
or-
do more. Like replace that Funko Pop with retro games. I bet you the GameStop would turn around.
Yeah.
But no, you have to buy retro games through their website. And to be honest, if you're ever looking for retro games, GameStop's website is not bad in terms of pricing. Like,
Yeah, but if they would put that stuff in the store and start buying that stuff off of
they
people,
probably sell way better.
and same thing like FYE. When you go into an FYE to purchase movies, you find modern releases $5 more than you could go down the street and pay at Target. And they always, for older things, they always have the same exact selection.
Yeah.
You cannot go there. Like back when it used to be strawberries years ago, you used to be able to find
strawberries.
so much, like, harder to find DVDs that people are dumping off that, you know, are out of print now and things like that. And it's just, you find stuff from the last 20 years at FYE and you're not going back any more than that.
Yeah. And if you do, it's like, I mean, like, I'm a fan of, like, old, like, you know, Tokatsu.
Yeah.
Japanese special effects movies. And you can find those at FYE, but you're not going to find too many of them.
And you're going to find the same ones every time.
Yeah, you go to the FYE in, like, you know, in Attleboro, and you go to the one in Warwick.
Attleboro is
Same-
better than Warwick.
Yeah.
But neither
I've
one's
heard
particularly
rumors they're
great.
going to, like, cut that store in half.
Which one?
The one in Attleboro. Because that's a
Of
big
course
store
they are,
for them
yeah.
all. I heard they're going to, like, consolidate it, cut it in half.
Of
rent
course
the
they
space out to somebody else.
I mean, same thing kind of happens at con. Like, you go to one booth, and then, like, you go to another booth, and some people have, like, the same
stuff, yeah.
And as I was talking to one of our coworkers about, a lot of the artists every year, they don't really update their portfolio. They just sell the same prints over and over again every year.
No, they probably print a whole bunch, and then, like, once they run out of the inventory of one, they're like,
Yeah.
let's do another one now. Because it probably costs them money to print that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
But, and, like, there weren't even that many, like, guest artists this year. Like, because sometimes they get, like, really big
Yeah, there was
names.
actually, because I remember the selection being big last year on the website, and it
Yeah.
just wasn't this year.
Like, the biggest guy they had was Eastman. Kevin Eastman and Laird. Who, created the Ninja Turtles.
That's a pretty big name in terms of comics.
No, it is, but he's come the last like 3-4 years.
Oh, okay.
So like,
So that's like you've seen this song of Pony Dance before.
yeah. Plus, I'm like, I don't read the Ninja Turtles comics. Like, I grew up with the movies and like that animated TV show on like Fox. But
That's
like,
something else I
The
missed.
2003 TV show,
Yeah.
whatever it was, that was a lot of fun. I loved that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a lot of the action figures and stuff.
yeah,
I
like,
missed the train on Turtles.
but like last year was probably like a highlight year for me, like at least creator wise.
Yeah.
But
You met a lot of them last year, too, right?
I met one creator last year.
Okay.
There's never really anyone I want to like. I always kind of check out the guest list. I'm like, wow, that's kind of neat that he's there. But like, I don't know.
I would have probably met Ron Perlman this year
If he
hadn't. I mean, I get him canceling. His
Yeah.
mom died 2 days before.
I
But
will forever kick myself for last year.
Why?
Because Sebastian Stan.
Oh, Sebastian Stan was there. I feel like we're not gonna get. I think the biggest we're gonna keep getting are like the Netflix Marvel people.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, so a couple of years ago, there was a big controversy with our local con because, like, they ran out of space and the fire marshal shut them down. And ever since then, like, yeah, they've gotten better at, like,
organizing.
controlling, like, how many people come in. But, like, every year they change up how, like, traffic flows through the con. Every year they change up who comes. And every year they keep rearranging the showroom floor. And all they do is
Yeah.
give space to the celebrities. So, like, I get it, that's the big draw, but, like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, shocker, Fred. People don't go to Comic Con for comics.
Right. But that my thing is, like, stop calling it a Comic-Con then.
What else are you gonna call it?
I mean, if San Diego has their way, they'll have to stop.
Right.
I got
Yeah.
so trapped this year.
Who did not to interrupt, but didn't San Diego shut somebody down?
Yeah.
They're trying to shut everybody down.
I know. I thought I heard that they got like a definitive cease and desist.
No, they went after another, like, major convention. But, like, there's plenty of things that people, they just call them expos. Like, there's Fan Expo and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, you could just call it an expo.
Which they should probably do.
Yeah. Because, like, they keep taking space away from comic book vendors and creators. To the point where, like, it's almost not worth it.
But you were saying, Amanda, you got trapped.
Yeah, I guess they took the right-hand corner and made it more lines for the celebrities.
Yeah, it was just more photo lines.
I didn't know how to get out of there. Legitimately.
Was that when you messaged me and said you felt like a kid in Walmart?
Yes.
So they have the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which is like the local sporting arena for all the minor league teams in the area, or the colleges that use the basketball court that they put out for like home games. It's fucking weird.
Basketball and hockey.
I get having like an AHL team there, and then like they do like the Frozen Four and stuff, and they have like college hockey, but like these college teams have hockey rinks on campus for the most part, like half of them, but like some of the major schools in the area use like the local sporting arena for like their home games. But they have so pretty much take the size of an ice rink for a hockey game or a basketball court, and then also take away like all the bullshit side seats and stuff, especially if it's a basketball court, like the
Yeah.
guys that sit on the folding chairs for $3,000.
Yeah.
And then just take like corrals for people, like those fences that you have to stand in line when
Yeah.
you're queuing up, and you take a space that big, and all you do is have queuing lines to go meet celebrities and like for a 2-second autograph.
That's fucking wild.
That's all they do. The first year they had the dunk, that whole floor was like vendors and comic book sellers and stuff, because they still had the celebrities over in the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
It was so nicely done because everybody was in organized rows. It looked like just another version of the convention center, so there's more selling space for everybody. The only other convention I've been to is Anime Boston, and they have an entire floor of a convention center / hotel for guests and stuff, an entire floor for vendors. Like, they space it out well enough. They let people in. The lines move perfectly. The only nice thing they did this year was they moved the line from wrapping around the outside of the building and put us under the parking garage. That way we didn't get soaked when it rained on Saturday.
You think that they like need a formal big restructure?
Well,
I mean, it sounds like of the whole convention.
yeah. But again, it's a difference in ideology. Like, I get it, the convention makes money because they bring in guests and stuff and celebrities. And my idea of a Comic-Con is, hey, let's get fans together and, like, vendors together so fans can go and find what they're looking for, meet creators they enjoy. Like, last year my highlight was I met Sean Gordon Murphy and he signed my Punk Rock Jesus, which is like one of my favorite books of all time, and like greatly informed.
We should do that on the podcast.
We
my
should.
God, Jesus.
Greatly informed my college career for 2 years. Like,
You know,
No.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one who cares more about the vendors and the celebrities.
nobody, like, no other comic, like, actually impacted me as much as that one did. And meeting the creator of it was, like, one of the coolest things I've done.
I mean, I think I would probably enjoy the vendors more. I just don't read too many comics.
Right. But it's a good place to find cheap comics just to read them. Like, I found runs and stuff. Like, I got buy two, get one free on trade paperbacks. So, like, I picked up volumes I probably wouldn't read. I picked up Batman War Game. Like, I never wanted to finish reading that series. I read, like, the first volume, and I could get the 2 other ones for cheap. I got a Marvel Masterwork collection of Thor, of, like, the first volume of Thor, for, like, $10. And usually trade paperbacks these days go for at least 19.
See, I mean, I'd go and, like, I don't know if I'd buy any comics. I'd end up probably doing a lot more, like, looking and being like,
Which
should
is
I buy
mostly
this?
what I did.
Yeah, and be like, trying to get someone's opinion on something. But, like, if I saw, like, something, like, that I really like, I'd probably buy any Godzilla comic
Right.
there. Or, like, Godzilla merch or
There's
video game stuff.
Yeah, there's a ton of that. There are people selling video games, people selling retro everything. All the creators there are super cool. Like, I talked to a couple of creators that are making their own books. They're all fantastic people. Like, not even just going to, like, never mind. Like, not even going to, like, network or anything. Like, if you wanted to get into the industry, you could talk to people.
Hmm.
Like, you're not going to talk to anybody, like, at San Diego where, like, you're meeting, like, top tier, like, movie people. And, like San Diego, yeah, I get having, like, all that stuff. But San Diego also has, like, big comic news, big comic releases, comic book movie stuff. Like, they can do whatever they want because they have that background in it. This is, like, sometimes they get people that were in a comic book movie at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Zach Levi hasn't even... Oh, no, he has. He's been in Thor. But, like...
Oh, yeah, he was
Fandral. Yeah.
Not even from the beginning.
No. He was backup Fandral and then died in the third movie.
Who played him in the first movie?
Josh Dallas.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that guy has a name. I was just like, oh, it's other Fandral. But...
So we have 2 minutes left. Do we want to wrap up on this, or do we want to reset the timer and keep going on Comic Con?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
What was the coolest thing you guys saw? You
This
can do
year?
it quick, yeah. Or, like, well, picked up. I mean, I know we all said we picked stuff up, but...
For me, it was just because I had never been before. I mean, like I said, I only got one comic.
Yeah.
Didn't actually meet any celebrities. I just kind of walked around and got to see them, and like, hey, it's that guy that I love. That's cool. It was just cool being around all of the other fans of things and kind of soaking in the atmosphere and seeing the creators and seeing the stars of things that I love. And
that's what I mean by, like, it's a place for people to get together and hang out, but then they're monetizing off of it, which I mean is a business model, but, like, still kind of sucks when you think about it. Coolest thing you got, Amanda, as I cut you off.
I'm quite content with my Winter Soldier bracelet.
Mine might be an issue of Thor versus the Wrecker. It's an older comic, but it looks fantastic. I haven't read it yet, but, like, there's just a lot of cool shit. I also got a bunch of, like, cool My Hero stuff and some One Piece figures.
anything to add, Mr. Fred?
Shit tastes nasty when it's warm.
Yeah, that beer is not great once it gets warm. That's because it's so bitter.
But, so thank you for listening to this other, outside of that one Infinity Gauntlet one we did, extra episode of the Comics Brew and Chew podcast. Look out for social media that we keep saying might happen. We don't know if it will or not. But, yeah, thanks for listening, and catch us next time when we talk about probably Klaus. This is going to be the next book we do.